The ANC Limpopo Provincial Conference results are in. The chairperson, as I told you, Stan Mathabata, has been re-elected for a third term, beating the province's Public Works MEC, Dixon Masemola. Ruben Madaje is the new provincial secretary. He defeated former secretary Soviet Lekganyane by nearly 300 votes. Senior reporter Siphamandla Goke is covering that story and joins me now for an update. Siphamandla, I wanted us to talk about Paul Mashatile and the dynamics around him as they relate to Limpopo, but I believe I have to park that now for a moment and you and I will pick up that conversation. The reason I park it is that you are joined by Soviet Lekganyane.
Indeed, Tulasizo, we'll get to the Paul Mashatile aspect of it a little bit later. I've got Soviet Lekganyane, the former provincial secretary of the ANC in Limpopo. This is the man who has been the engine of the party in the province. He's regarded as one of the best brains of the ANC, not only in Limpopo but nationally. He would have wanted to be retained as the provincial secretary, but it wasn't to be. No, Pala, thank you very much for your time. Let's get your reaction on the outcome of this provincial conference. You and your slate did not make it. Are you disappointed? I know in the ANC you always say there are no winners or losers, but what do you make of the outcome of the conference?
Look, we will never be disappointed. Of course, it has its own implications, because what it means now is that I immediately become unemployed. And unemployment is we wrote it in the report that went to conference, that is extremely and unacceptably high in the country. For sure, you know, Stats SA released the labor survey report for the first quarter of 2022. You might have seen there was some slight decrease of about 1.8%. Look, in 2011 and 2018 respectively, when I was elected, there were comrades who were unelected at that time and they accepted. And so even now, my take is that I have run my 100 meters and the baton must be passed to another political athlete. And we just hope that we'll have the same endurance and pace to take the organization to the next level. Politically,
where to from here for Soviet Lekganyane?
Back to my branch. Members of the ANC belong to branches. The conference is still in session. Comrades who have not made it in the positions of officials automatically fall in to become candidates for additional members. We will wait for conference to express itself on that matter, and if the same result, if the outcome is the same as the ones that we have now experienced with officials, then it's just to look at yourself through the mirror and say, Soviet, you have been in this PEC for the last 14 years and maybe ANC branches and members in the province have decided that there must be differently abled comrades.
If I hear you correctly, Mr. Lekganyane, you are saying you are available to serve in the PEC. If they vote for you, you will gladly serve them.
Yes, my name is there as a candidate for additional members. And like I say, if Congress favorably expresses itself, obviously I will continue to serve in this PEC.
What went wrong between you and the provincial chairperson and Denim Caesar? Because some people say this conference was mainly about removing Soviet Lekganyane. Those who came here as delegates who had another leadership preference said they wanted to remove you as the provincial secretary because they allege that you have collapsed the organization in Limpopo. I don't know how, because if you look at the performance and the number, you are now number 2 after KwaZulu-Natal. What do you think went wrong? Is there any bad blood between Denim Caesar, yourself, and Stan Mathabata?
Love or hate, like or dislike, we have one of the most vibrant provinces of the ANC. If you have seen our organizational report, I see it now is in wide circulation here. It is no longer closed like we closed out last night. The report shows a very living and vibrant organization in the province, able to convene its provincial conference within record time, coming here with 4 regions having gone to conferences. For sure, Waterberg, the new leadership, will allow them to convene their conference next week, which will be the last region in the province. Over 500 branches in good standing out of 568. You have seen the work that we have done in Modimolle, Mokgopong and Tabazimbi, where we tried to reclaim our lost ground. We improved our percentages. The officials of the ANC were manifestly leading the campaign, doing door-to-door. I want to believe that the delegates of the ANC to this conference acted in good faith. There must never be any other context that is brought to the outcome of the elections, because to my understanding is that that is malicious. Everybody is good in his or her own way.
Let's talk about your report that you tabled here. Of course, the issue of the VPS looms large in this province. Issues within the organization have properly functioning structures. Your organization, or your report rather, paints a picture of an organization that needs to do more work to fight corruption, because the ANC in Limpopo has been tainted by the VPS scandal.
Look, it's a call for recommitment from the leaders and members of the ANC in the province to be manifestly seen and be heard pronouncing against corruption. There have been instances where we were very ambiguous, where instead of condemning corruption, we just made verbiages. And so that verbiage must go away. Society wants to hear us coming out to say we have stolen from you in many ways, it's enough. And we are even aware as members and leaders of the ANC that there are some of the wrong things that we have done. And so we want to show penitence. The report also quotes one of the statements that was made by the provincial chairperson in a PC Lekganyane immediately after elections, where the chairperson addressing that Lekganyane said to the leaders of the ANC and government that, comrades, can we conduct ourselves as if we were a parolee who must show penitence, because he has now sent back to his society, and society must see that indeed this parolee has undertaken a rehabilitation with all of his soul and heart. So there is nothing wrong that we mentioned in the report, because it's a sentiment that we share, but we have not backed that with commitment. We have not been manifestly seen or heard pronouncing. In fact, in some cases, we were very lackadaisical, and so society understood us to be defending some of our comrades who were on the wrong side of the things, and that painted the organization very, very badly.
Let me release you because you have to go back to plenary, but thank you very much for your time.
And confirm my availability for election as additional member.
Or maybe for December. There are those who are saying you must go to Lutuli House. Your name has been mentioned. Have you been lobbied?
Let's cross the river when we come to it.
Have you been lobbied?
Let's cross the river when we come to it.
Don't be a diplomat on me, Soviet Lekganyane. I know you are an international relations scholar, but have you been lobbied?
Let's cross the river when we come to it.
That is Soviet Lekganyane, the former provincial secretary of the ANC in Limpopo, a man who is very diplomatic, by the way. He is a seasoned politician, but he says, listen, he's available to be an additional member of the Provincial Executive Committee of the ANC after losing. You know, he was not re-elected as the provincial secretary. So delegates are going back to plenary now. Commissions have been underway. One of the very few conferences of the ANC whereby delegates have enough time to discuss policy issues to last Israel.
Yeah, let's leave it there for now, Siphamandla Koke. It's not for a lack of trying that you didn't get the answer from Soviet Lekganyane there. And the principle is, of course, you tried 3 times. After the 3rd try, you accept that the man is simply not going to give you a straight answer. Well done to you for trying to get an answer. We don't have time to get into the dynamics around Paul Mashatile. I guess we will do that a bit later on. eNCA's Siphamandla Koke continues to watch the Limpopo Provincial ANC Conference.